A very good morning to you all. I am Dr.N.Rajasree, Assistant Professor of Economics, Pingle Government College for Women, Vadapalli, Warangal. In today's topic, you are going to learn about the characteristics of developing economies. What are the characteristics? The first one is low level of income. So, this is the first characteristic feature, low level of income. So here can remember whatever the progress has been made in terms of increase in production since independence, the same is not reflected in increase in per capita income because of rapid growth of population. Okay, along with the growth of production. So here the low level of income indicates what? Low standard of living and also the low level of consumption. So if income level increases, even the standard of living also increases. So in our Indian economy, there is a low level of income. Okay, that is one characteristic feature of developing economies. So here before that, just you can remember, uh, based on what we can call a country is developing or not. So by seeing the per capita income, we can say that whether a country is developing or not. Okay, that is an index for development. So try to remember how to calculate this per capita income. National income by size of population gives the per capita income. So based on the per capita income only, we can say that whether a country is developing or not. So that you have to remember. So in that we have taken the low level of income, because in our Indian economy the people are not what is that technically they are not increasing their skills. Okay, like if you see the sectors, we have the agriculture sector, industrial sector, and service sector. So all the sectors are there. So here mostly we see the 70% of the population is depending only on agriculture sector. So if only depending on agriculture sector, we cannot develop our economy. Even the industrial sector and also the service sector has to develop. Okay. So try to remember that the low level of income is shows our position. Okay, the standard of living also. So when income level increases, automatically the standard of people also increases. They'll get the income, they can survive, and the life expectancy rate also increases. If they get the better incomes only, they can survive for longer period. Okay, this means that the large proportion of the population have income level much below the average. They are not in a position to consume the food. So for we can say that in India about the 1/3 of the population is living below poverty line only. That is, they are not able to afford even the minimum nutrition which they require. That is lagging because they are not in a position to take, not in a position to buy the apples or the fruits. You can take the example, because the common man, if they get the minimum basic necessities, that is enough for them. So if they take the nutritious food, automatically they'll get the energy level increases, and also they can survive for longer time. So try to remember, due to the low level of income, the people are, the efficiency of the labor is also low. If they eat good food now, their efficiency increases. If they're not in a position to eat what is that, good food, their efficiency will not increase. So in order to increase the efficiency of the labor, the income plays a very important role. Got it? So income, nowadays you can see the people during this pandemic, many people are suffering. Okay, they are not in a position to get their jobs. Though they have studied, they are not in a position to cope up today's situation. So try to remember, here you can remember that education is playing a very important role. So education is a source and the solution for all our problems. So when you are an educated, you'll get the basic requirements. You can fulfill your necessaries and also the comforts, whatever you require, and luxury life you can enjoy. So what is playing here an important role? Education. So that is a must in our economy. So based on that, you can remember the point, what is a characteristic feature of developing economies. Then the next one is Just now we discussed about the agriculture sector dependence. So in this developing economies, the predominance of agriculture. So about the 2/3 of the India's workforce population is engaged in agriculture sector only. So when this 2/3 workforce is engaged in agriculture sector, what about the contribution? How much it is contributing to agriculture sector, to the to the national income? How much it is contributing? That is only just 19% it is contributing. So if the contribution is very less, then what is the use? So as against this, we can see that the contribution of the agriculture sector to the national income in the most of the developed countries is between 2 to 4%, and the workforce engaged in agriculture sector is only between 2 to 9%. So it's very less. So though the dependence is more, but here we find the disguised unemployment. You know about the disguised unemployment. What is this disguised unemployment? When more number of people are engaged than the required number, only just they require only 10 persons, but what the people are doing there, 12 people are engaged. So with the 10 persons, 50 bags of paddy they are producing. Suppose you can take an example. So the 12, when they increase the number of people from 10 to 12, the production is not increasing. The production is only total 50 bags only. So here we can see the people are disguisedly they are unemployed in agriculture sector. So predominance, that means we are giving much importance in developing economies. We are giving much importance to, that is the dependence is more on agriculture sector, because in the first 5-year plan also we gave much importance to agriculture sector. That is 70% of the population is dependent on agriculture sector. So if 70% depends, can we develop our economy? It is not possible. Even the Hansinger also stated that though if dependence is more on agriculture sector, we cannot develop our economy. The dependence must a change has to take place from agriculture sector to industrial sector, from industrial sector to service sector. So when there is a shift from one sector to another sector, automatically what happens? The development will take place. So even the Hansinger also is stated like this, and you can remember that if more dependence is there on the agriculture sector, we cannot develop. Only the sector will develop. And what about the other sectors? We have the industrial sector and also the service sector, and we find seasonal unemployment in this agriculture sector. Only for the 6 months they will be working, and other 6 months they are idle. So other 6 months they have to suffer. Okay. So there is an alternative. What is that? During off season, they must provide some employment opportunities to the people in industrial sector and other sector, so that they can have their, they can increase their efficiency also if they get the incomes during off-season period. So remember, the predominance of agriculture is playing a very important role in developing economies. And you can see that mainly what is this in agriculture sector is a gambling in monsoons, because there is uncertain in this. We do not know what happens during the floods and the droughts and the other situations. Now they have to suffer. So there is no certainty in agriculture sector, the production. Okay, if there is certainty, naturally they can guess we'll get this much of production, and also we'll get this much of income. So here there is no certainty only. So if there is no certainty, they cannot expect this, because there is a gambling in monsoons we call. When what happens we don't know, because it depends upon the nature. So try to remember here the rainfall is playing a very important source of irrigation, and the technology used in agriculture is also, if it is traditional in nature, and the modernization is slowly if it is taking place, then also it's a problem in agriculture sector. Because if they use the obsolete technology, what happens? If they use the obsolete technology, the production will not increase. Got it? So the new modern technology, now the bullock carts have gone, what the tractors have come. Okay. And for doing all other things now, they are using the mechanization process is taking place. Even for paddy machines have come. They are not using the labor power, that manpower they have reduced, and they are using the machine power nowadays. So with that mechanization process, what's going on? The manpower is reducing. If manpower is reducing means what happens? It leads to unemployment only. So that is also we can see the symbol for whether the country is developing or not. What is that their efficiency in other things. So you can remember the rainfall is the main source, and also the technology in agriculture. If they are using the outdated methods also, if we explain the things also, some people they use only the bullock carts because they don't have that money. They don't want the money to like for spending for the purpose. That is also lagging behind in agriculture sector. Okay, it's not that because we have the small and the marginal farmers and other farmers are there. Even they have very small size of holdings. In that small size of holdings, they cannot afford to use the machines. So that's why they are using what? Only just the bullock carts only they are using, and they are plowing the things and they are growing the uh, crops. Okay, you can remember that if they use the old also, it's a problem. And also the vast area of the agriculture land still not covered with irrigational facilities only. So these are all the things, like these the features of developing economies. So overall you can remember that agriculture sector, that is Indian economy, is mostly depending, that is 70% of the people are depending only on the agriculture sector. So if 70% depends, we cannot develop our economy. The dependence has to change. The shift has to take place. When there is a structural change, then there will be a development. So we are not still, the proportion has reduced. Nowadays you can see that many people, they are changing their what is that, a migration is taking place from agriculture sector to industrial sector, from industrial sector to service sector. So if there is a migration also, people are moving from one place to another because of the children education, other things. They are not staying in agriculture sector because there is no certainty to get their incomes. Okay, that is one point you can remember in characteristics of developing economies. Is it clear? And the next we take the capital deficiency. What is this capital deficiency? Capital deficiency is less of capital. Why there is a less of capital in Indian economy? Why? Because the low level of income, their income levels are very less. It results in what? What happens when they are getting very less incomes? They are not in a position to save. Low level of savings will be there. So which results in what? Low level of capital formation. They cannot afford to increase their savings. If they get, suppose they 50,000 of income. So in that, if they spend 20,000 or the 30,000, the rest 20,000 they can save in the banks. Okay. So with that, what happens? The capital formation will take place. A net increase in the stock of capital. Okay, when there is an increase in capital, automatically it leads to what? Capital formation. Suppose you have deposited in a bank of 1 lakh. After 1 year, they'll give 1 lakh 10,000. So the 10,000 is called as what? Capital formation. So here in an economy, in our economy, there is a low level of income. So when there is low level of income, it results in what? Low level of savings, which results in low level of capital formation. Okay, fine. So here you can remember that for want of the capital also, other resources we can use, that the labor and the natural resources, they remain unutilized. Okay. So India has a large potential for renewal, and also the non-renewable sources are there, resources are there. So the country is not able to utilize them fully for the want of capital. So for utilization of the resources, we require what? It's not an easy thing to utilize the resources. So here the capital is playing a very important role to utilize the resources. So here in our Indian economy, we have the resources, abundant of resources are there. But what is not there? We are not utilizing properly. When we are not utilizing properly, what happens? The development will not take place. The production will not increase. When they increase the production only, they can get the incomes. Got it? For utilization of the resources, the capital plays a very important role. Having the minerals and other things we have, the availability is there, but there is no proper utilization of resources. When there is no proper utilization of resources, it's very difficult to develop our economy. So if suppose if we have the money, when we are not utilizing for the correct purpose, what is the use of having that money in our banks or in our houses? So whatever you require, you have to purchase. For what purpose you want to buy, you have to enjoy. Got it? So here you can remember that capital deficiency is there in our Indian economy. Got it? And the next we can see the technological backwardness. What is this technological backwardness? So in the large parts of almost all the sectors of Indian economy, the technology used in production is backward. We don't have proper technological techniques, technical know-how. It's very less. So for that purpose, what we are doing, we are importing the technical knowledge from other countries. So when we are importing the technical knowledge from other countries, what happens? So we have to pay some amount. So the expenditure which is incurred on the research and the development is also very low. We are not spending amount on this. So when we are not spending on research and development, what happens? The technology, whatever we are using, it is not upgraded. If it is not upgraded, what happens? The production will not increase. It will be in the same place only. So here in our Indian economy, availability of resources are there, but what is not there? Proper technical knowledge is not there. So for the technical knowledge usage, for the using those resources, we need the capital, we need the technology. Got it? So when technological developments are there, automatically how to use and what to use and when to use and what is the process and everything they must know. Then only what happens? Whatever we have the resources, we can utilize successfully, and also the production increases. When production increases, what happens? We can develop our economy. So try to remember, technological backwardness is there in our Indian economy, and for that purpose what we are doing, we are importing the technical knowledge from other countries. When we are importing the technical knowledge from other countries, what happens? We have to pay the amount. So when we are paying the money from for other countries, then we are importing, what happens to our balance of payments position? It will be very less. Got my point? So remember that technological backward is there in our economy. Then the next point you can see, that is inadequate infrastructure facilities. Okay, what is this infrastructure? What is infrastructure? The development of transport, irrigation, banking, okay, power, all the things which we require for the communication purpose, na, that is called as infrastructure. Got my point? Infrastructure. Here in our economy, there is inadequate facilities are there. Got it? So infrastructure facilities, if there is not properly developed, the production, whatever they are producing in the sectors, it will not come to the market. So these facilities are essential for industrial development. Okay, and also it affects the development of agriculture and also service sector. So for development purpose, all these facilities are, if they are inadequate, we cannot develop our economy. So try to remember the facilities. Nowadays, there is an improvement. We can improve, like we are improving, providing, broadening the roads and what is that? Even the banking sector has modernized online banking system. Now it is, some changes are taking place. It is not the same way we are. Got my point? So remember, the inadequate infrastructural facilities is also one of the characteristic feature of our developing economy. Okay, so we have discussed low level of income, predominance of agriculture, capital deficiency, technological backwardness, inadequate infrastructure facilities. And the next we can see the high rate of growth of population. Day by day, the population growth rate is increasing. So compared to, as per the 2011 census, 121 crore population, our India population is rising at the rate of 1.84 per annum. Okay, so the population day by day it is increasing, and the can see the birth rate has declined nowadays because of some implementations. It is very slow, and the death rate has declined faster because of medicines and other things. So try to remember, this is a basic feature in our Indian economy, that is high rate of growth of population. And the next we can see the high rate of illiteracy. You know about the illiteracy, it's quite high in our economy. Although it has declined, but substantially we can see that it's very high, 50 from 51 onwards. Illiteracy rate in females is much higher than in males. And it also, we can see that is a characteristic feature of our developing economy. And you can see the next one, high infant mortality rate. The number of deaths of the infants of less than 1 year of age per thousand live births in India is very high. So this shows the inadequate medical facilities. Now you can see the pandemic situation also. If the medicine comes only, the death rate we can control. And the low level of nutrition, they are not in a position to eat the nutritious food. When they can eat the nutritious food? If they have the better incomes. So if they have the better incomes, they can get the nutritious food. If they are not in a position to get, like if they are not in a position to earn also, they will not be in a position to increase their standard of living. And also the poor sanitary conditions also, they are not in a position to cope up. Okay. And the traditional bound attitudes towards the work and the place. The Indian society is divided into many castes and subcastes, resulting in frictions in the society. You have seen, you know about this casteism system, caste system. The religious and the social beliefs and the customs, to a certain extent, they inhibit the development of scientific attitudes. They will not change. They'll bound to work in that atmosphere only. They will not come from their life, okay, because they are traditionally, you can see the Babas and other people, what is that, their occupations. So according to the caste system, na, there will be Brahmins and other things. According to their things, na, they'll work. Okay. So based on that only, that you can see the feature of developing economy. And the next we can see the joint family system. What is this joint family system? So automatically this joint family system obstruct the mobility of labor. Yes or no? Why? Because only single person will be there in a joint family system, and others rest nicely, they'll sit and they'll enjoy, they'll eat. So if that is the case, only one person is working, they cannot survive. The joint family system is there. So now it has become, a change has taken place. People are not living in joint families. It has gone. Okay. So families prefer to live together, even if this may have a low level of living. The nuclear family system is taking place, and it roots like some slowly. Okay. So this, we can see that the Indian economy is expressing a socio-economic change. Okay. It is not under same thing. So just we can say that these are the characteristic features, and in fact there has been development in almost all sectors. And however, the rate of development had been relatively slower because of high rate of growth of population. So when the growth rate of population is increasing, even the rate of development is slower. So currently India is categorized as a developing, and slowly the process of development is picking up in the post-globalization phase. After 1991, some changes have taken place. That is multinational system and LPG system has come. What is this LPG? Liberalization, privatization and globalization. So with this new industrial policy, na, everything has been globalized. A change has taken place. Okay. With those changes, our economy has changed. We used to, what is that, globalization, where like China products used to enter in our economy, and our products used to go there. There's a big process. Okay. That changes due to this, can remember the policy, na? They implemented all this. So finally, you can remember these are all the characteristic features of our economy. And now the some changes, that is everything has modernized. It is not the same thing. That's computer. You can see in banking sector, everything has computerized. Online system has come, like online payments of fees and everything that they undertaken for developing the sector. Okay, banking, insurance also you can see, and many things have been taking place in our economy. Some changes. It's not like still old model. Everything has modernized and changed our economies. Okay, so try to remember, and you can uh, learn these points. Thank you very much.